Welcome everybody to the Mere Nonsense Podcast. We are your hosts, Billy, Venus taking over for Brad, and me, Z.
Taking over for Brad. We are no longer having Brad.
Yeah, it was his birthday yesterday, and for the birthday present, we kicked him out of the Mere Nonsense Podcast. So he's drowning himself in sorrows with the DJ at a strip club right now.
Sounds like Brad.
It definitely is. Cool. He's the strip club kind of guy. For anyone that wants to know.
And hire him a stripper.
No, just the DJ. The DJ's a stripper.
Just the DJ.
Yeah.
The DJ, he duels as a DJ and a stripper.
The DJ's just trying to chill, and
he's got the rig while he's stripping.
Yeah.
He's the one guy in the crowd that's like always asking the DJ to change the music to like something he wants.
Everyone loves that
guy. No, but Brett's just too busy right now, so he's doing his own thing. But it's cool because we got Venus here with us. Thanks for joining us again.
My pleasure.
Well, especially because Brad isn't here and he didn't really like it. We just saw the Terrifier 2 trailer. They did have one that came out like 2 years ago, but this is like the updated one because the movie's coming out soon. And I'm pretty fucking excited for it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks so good, dude.
Classic art.
Yeah, right?
Full on the creepiness, the whole ambiance.
Okay, but the real creepy part is in the trailer. The one of the main characters is a boy, like a, I don't know, 14, 15-year-old boy. And he wants to dress up as Art. I'm just like, dog, this dude literally just killed a bunch of fucking people. You want to dress up as him? Oh my god.
And they even say, like, isn't he still at large or something like that?
Right. He's like, I don't give a fuck, Greg. I just want to fucking dress up as him.
I just want to fuck.
I feel like that's pretty accurate, though. Like, I feel like that would happen.
Yeah, there's always some psychopath that wants to dress up as another psychopath.
True.
Starting me
on infamous.
No, but it definitely looks good. It comes out in October. Super excited for it. Hopefully, I mean, Venus just told us that it's coming out in theaters, so I don't know, for a movie like that to come out in theaters, especially with the way that he ends up killing people, I'm curious to see how like the larger audience would respond to his killing.
It's not very mainstream the way they've done gore in these movies. So yeah, for sure. I would imagine that a whole audience full of people, you may get some interesting reactions from the creative methods of killing that art tends to employ.
Because I don't think before watching, I still have not seen All Hallows Eve, but I did watch Terrifier, and I'm just like, before that movie, I can't remember the last time, or if ever, I've like kind of winced here and there at a death or two. It's just the way that they edit it, the way that they make it, it's for a small budget movie, they made it look very good and very realistic. So yeah, I can't wait to see what the art ends up doing this time. But yeah, that's we talked about wanting to do like a whole, I guess, horror podcast at one point. Not like a separate podcast, but I mean just like an episode. I think Venus is kind of like the perfect guest to have for that, because like she's like
me.
Yeah, you're like mommy horror out of everyone.
No.
Yeah, like
never.
Like the amount of people, especially in your group of friends, that have actually seen like all these different horror movies, none of them match up to how many you've seen, honestly. Okay, but like the thing that
they're comforting. I don't know.
They, you know, teach their own.
Silence.
Teach their own.
Yeah, all horror movies are just comedy.
Really?
Oh, comedy. Okay, I thought you said comforting. I was just
that
like,
too,
oh, I did.
obviously.
I did say comforting.
Oh my god.
Billy said
so
comedy.
she said comforting.
Okay,
I said comedy.
Okay. Just making sure. Boy, okay, I'm still kind of like, I'm gonna put you on the spot because I'm still like, I'm confused. Not confused. I understand, but I don't understand. When we talked about Megan is Missing. And you were one of the people that said you didn't want to watch it.
Well, I have watched it.
Oh, you have? Okay. You just didn't want to watch it again.
Nor would I recommend anyone watch it, but that's just me.
Gotcha. And the last episode...
But I have seen it. How would I not, like, something that, like, hyped, how would I not have watched that?
All right.
Come on.
Was it really hyped?
Well, it's hyped now because of TikTok, yeah.
Well, yeah, now it is, but, like, I didn't hear anything about it when it came out.
Yeah, no, growing up, I never heard of it.
It trends on TikTok now, like, every, like, couple years. Like, I've seen it trend on TikTok before.
Right.
So I don't even think I've ever seen it trend until Z mentioned something about it. And I was like, oh, it popped up on my feed that night, and then it was gone. Or no, because I sent it to you, didn't I, Z? I sent you the video.
I think one of you guys did.
It was like the first time that it ever popped up on my feed.
Did we have a guest that day when we were talking about it, Billy?
Yeah, it was. Was
it Jesus?
I think so. He was a new. Yeah, I think it was one.
Yeah, it might have been that episode, but that was the time when we talked about it. And we were still unsure until after we finished the podcast, and I was just like, you know what, let me just look it up exactly what it is. And the last 20 minutes are supposed to be like a crazy like rape / torture scene, and it's just like, eesh, like.
And they're certainly not the first movie to have done that, to use that for the big horror finale, but it's like the way that they do it is really it goes on for a long time, and it's just really I don't know, like you feel like you're there. Like it's really weird. It's not really shot in the same way that I've seen that done before.
I'm like getting Blair Witch vibes out of it, like the ending of Blair Witch.
Like Last House on the Left meets Blair Witch. Like, just that's a little much. Yeah. And then there's sort of like there's that shock scene, but then there's like kind of like the aftermath of it, which is also really like, it's really, really gross. I don't know if you care if I spoil it, or we're doing no spoilers.
It's been like 10 years since the movie came out. If people want to like care or know about it,
And again, don't recommend anyone watch it. But she ends up like basically being locked in a barrel with a decomposing body for like an extended period of time, and then these things continue to happen to her until she dies from like being stuck in the container with a dead body, who's actually the body of the girl who's missing at the beginning of the movie.
Oh.
So it kind of like circles back, in like the worst way. So
Gotcha. There was a post I ended up reading because like I did kind of like a deep dive on forums about that movie, and at one point someone actually put something interesting about it, because it was someone probably around our age, maybe a little bit older, and they were like, you know what? I understand why people now are probably super terrified of that movie. There's not that many movies that are like that right now. Mm-hmm. When we were growing up, we were dealing with movies like Saw, Hostel, fucking literal torture porn movies that were going into theaters. And like a lot of people actually, teenagers would go with their adult friends or family to actually go see these in theaters. Mm-hmm. So like we all actually grew up with that type of shit. And for like kids that are younger than us to like look back at the library of movies that we grew up with, it kind of makes sense why they'd be a little bit more terrified than us towards a movie like that.
No, I think even in general, the newer generations are just a little bit more sensitive to things of that nature too.
Yeah. No,
they don't find it as enjoyable as like you and me and Venus do. Like, look at Brad, perfect example. Doesn't like the Terrifier. Such a sensitive bitch.
So sensitive. He can't take it.
He really didn't like Terrifier. He really didn't.
He really did.
Even E-Man, one of our 15-year-old friends, plays CB with us, has watched the Terrifier and said it was good. He had to skip the naked chick part, but
who showed him that movie? I need to go
obviously his
them
parents.
Up. I don't know if that's obvious. I'm gonna have to ask him now.
Okay, but was it good though if you had to skip that part? Because that's probably one of the more gruesome, if not the most gruesome kills.
If there was forced,
the best part, but yeah.
the best part.
No, it was
I don't know
actually
if Red would agree with
he
that.
actually skipped it because it was the moment his parents walked in. You know,
He
Gotta
paused
skip
it
it
right there. Awkward walk in.
the
He
parents.
know what
was
it
with
looks
his
like?
parents. He was watching it with his parents.
Oh my god.
God,
Quality horror.
That would
His
be
parents have good taste.
What a
so
family
awkward to
film.
watch. Fuck.
At least he didn't have to worry about his parents walking
Yeah,
in.
Yeah, sitting right there.
not as awkward
Pass
as
the
watching the
popcorn.
Titanic with your family and
Oh, E-Man,
Leo
close your
DiCaprio
eyes.
starts drawing.
Oh god. God. Why did you just do this to me?
Oh, did that actually happen to you too?
Yeah.
Like our parents are just enjoying the movie and we're just like, what the fuck?
What's going on here?
Things I didn't want to remember. Thank you. I could have stayed way back there.
Damn.
Locked.
Or the car scene. The hand.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Ooh.
sent E-Man to the corner to just look at the wall during that scene.
Can I come back to
All right.
watch?
I think I mentioned it before, but like my parents would do the same shit. They're like, cover your eyes and look down, so I'd have to like during these scenes.
No, that was not the case with my family. I was like 5 years old when I first watched Child's Play. And like my parents actually got the VHS and like all of us got together to watch the movie. My brother hid behind my mom the entire time and I was just like behind my
Aw.
dad, just like peeking every now and then.
Aw.
Yeah.
Did I ever
they don't
tell
hold
you
back.
this? I think I've told it off the podcast. I don't think I've ever said it on the podcast. But like my mom didn't let me watch like anything scary growing up. And if I did pick something scary, like obviously there was no nudity, there was no like, you know, anything like that. And if there was, I had to look away, obvious.
Right.
But when I was like super young, probably about like the 4 or 5 range, my aunt, my mom's younger sister, was babysitting me for Halloween. It was like before Halloween, and she put on Scream, and I'd never seen it before. So we're watching it, and like I enjoyed it, you know, I had a good time. But when my mom came in later that week with the Ghostface costume, and I'm screaming in my bunk, hiding in the corner, my mom takes the mask off. It's like, how do you even know who this is? And I'm like, Auntie
no.
Janice showed me the movie.
Oh fuck.
Auntie Janice got in trouble. Oh
She
no.
did.
Oh, I
Mom was
bet.
very upset.
Oh, I
Damn.
was upsetty spaghetti. Oh yeah.
How
you have
dare
nightmares?
you show my son? I didn't
Oh,
have any nightmares. No, it was
Ah.
just when she came in, because she had like the plastic knife and all that. She came in. I was in the fucking corner, like, oh God, stay away, stay away.
Fuck.
Just-
That reminds me when I was a kid too. Fuck. My brother and I went through a bunch of different babysitters, and the only one that we actually liked, she was probably like in high school at the time, and she ended up putting up Halloween. First time watching it. That was the first horror movie that I actually watched fully and enjoyed it. But apparently not while I was sleeping, because later that night, my brother and my mom, because I think my dad was in Mexico around that time, but I wake up in the morning and my mom and my brother are just like, dude, are you okay? I'm like, why? They're like, you were legit having like a fucking panic attack in your sleep. Like someone was trying to kill you. And I actually remember that that dream vividly. It was actually Michael Myers himself. Just I was literally, all I was doing was just walking around my bed so he can't catch me. And that was the whole fucking nightmare. But apparently
you were looping him before you even knew what looping was.
Yeah, right? He prepared me for Dead by Daylight. Oh yeah, but they were just like, dude, you just kept saying no, don't come close to me, blah blah blah. I was like,
Oh my
holy
God.
fuck, man. Apparently I also slept walk when I was a kid too. But
Apparently
Did you
I did
sleep?
too.
Ooh.
Oh, really? Both of you? Wow. Were you
Damn.
like sleep escapers or just like Step Brothers style, like put the purse in the oven, like?
Step
Yes
Brother
and
style.
no. Yeah.
Yes and no.
I would sleepwalk to the bathroom and then piss all over the floor.
The best kind. Parents
Oh
love
my
it.
god. All I did apparently was just go from my room to my brother's bed and just like sleep
And
there
piss
with him.
all over it.
No, yeah. I pissed all over my
yeah.
brother.
I was not a sleepwalker. That was not a thing for me.
Really?
That's did you ever like wake up in a weird place?
Woke up in the
No.
bathroom once.
I'm sure.
All soiled and
Piss
everything.
all over yourself. Yeah.
It wasn't even all over myself.
Oh,
Freaking, we had my mom had a friend who was living with us at the time, and in my dream, like I just kept hearing my name getting called, Chris, and I like was being shaken, and I woke up, and like the seat's up, or at least the lid, the toilet seat is, and I'm like pissing all over it. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you pissing all over the place?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I was asleep in my bed. What am I doing in the bathroom?"
oh my god.
Oh
Dude, that's
My
awesome.
mom's like, "Oh yeah, he sleepwalks."
no. Oh yeah.
Just,
Fun
this happens.
Fun fact.
This is normal. This is fine.
Yeah, we told that to one of my brother's closest friends at the time, and he's like, "All right, if your brother ends up sleepwalking, I'm gonna get on top of you and beat the shit out of you to wake up."
I thought you're not supposed to wake up a sleepwalking person.
No, he was talking. He was telling my brother that he was gonna do that to my brother.
Oh.
He's like, "Wake up, your brother's sleepwalking."
Oh, help! Guide him back to bed.
Right. Were you ever a lucid dreamer or no?
Me?
Either of you? I never could. Anytime I noticed that I was dreaming, like it probably took maybe 5 seconds at most before I woke up.
I've had lucid dreams, but I've never gotten to the point where, like how some people train themselves, where if they're dreaming, there's a red ball, and then they know they're dreaming, they control it. I've never gotten to that point where I can like constantly do it, but I have done it before where something has happened, and I'm like, there's no way in the fucking ever existence of my life that this would really happen. So this has to be a dream. And then, well, now this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same for me. Like I can't do it on command, but I've had like lucid dreams before. They actually are usually really scary. But yeah, it's weird. It's super weird.
It's always the nightmares that last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the regular dreams, the weird ones, maybe even the good ones, they'll last like 2 seconds. No, the nightmares are there for a good minute.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Mhm.
can feel a lot longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first dream I ever remember having, and it's weird. Like it's the only dream that I remember so vividly that I could recall it in later years. But I'm like running around with my family, and so in California, when I was a kid, I had like a bunk bed, but there was no bottom bed. It was like one of those like I guess loft style beds, so it had like the little desk and all that. And I slept on the top, and then like underneath was a desk and stuff for me to like play with. And I had woken up, gone down from my bed, and there was like a doll that was alive, like all kinds of jacked up, and like it looked like it was missing an eye and shit like that. And it had a knife. It was chasing me around. So I go through my door, shut it, go to my parents who are talking to my uncle, and they're just chatting, having a good time, And I'm like, pick me up, please, for the love of God, pick me up. And they're not like paying any attention to me. And then I turn around and it's just a shit ton of dolls. Like all I see are dolls in the rest of the house. I'm like, well, and then I woke up.
Fuck.
Oh
If
my
you
God,
just
that's
stayed
awful.
awake for like 10 more seconds, man, so we could have found out what happened to you.
Oh, we already know
A lot
what
of
happened.
stabbing. Stabbing
Lots of fucking stabbing.
Mhm. Death
Fuck.
by doll.
And my parents
Oh,
just
God.
watched.
They just watched. They were just chatting. They were just
They were
like,
just
oh my God.
chatting nonchalantly.
Nonchalantly even.
Besides
Terrible.
that Halloween nightmare that I had, the only
Mm.
other two dreams I remember was one in kindergarten. I had a nightmare where there was this person that was turning everyone into stone. And he turned my parents into stone right in front of me. And I'm just like, fuck. So I'm just literally running around in a fucking store just trying to get away from the guy. And yeah, that was pretty much the nightmare. But the other one, always weird to me. This was when I was 4 years old. And it was a night terror. And the only thing that I was dreaming was literally like all of my memories coming to me. At that point, all my memories coming to me, and then I wake up like in the fucking movies where like you literally sit yourself up, fucking sweating like crazy and just heavy breathing. And those are the only
Oh,
other
damn.
two things I remember.
That's like an Inception style nightmare.
Right. I'm like,
That's
to
crazy.
this day I don't even know, like that's fucking wild that I even had something like that.
Have y'all ever
Yeah,
had one of those nightmares where you're falling in your nightmare and then when you wake up you're like halfway through falling like off the bed to the floor
You're
or
actually
something, like
falling? No.
you're actually falling? That's never
I've
happened.
never
No.
had
That's
that.
happened
No.
to me multiple times, like a number, many times. It's honestly fucking terrifying because when you wake up and you realize you're conscious, you also realize that your body is experiencing the fall. And for a split second, you're like, "Oh my god, am I actually like
Yeah.
about to die?" And
It
then
always-
you do hit something, and you're like, "Oh god, am I dead?"
No, that always happens to me when I'm sleeping while sitting down.
Oh yeah, that like vertigo.
You slump
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh shit. Go back to sleep.
The only like I've had that experience of like I'm falling in my dream and I feel like I'm falling, but then I like sit up and I wake up and I'm fine. But no, I saw this post and I'm sure you guys have probably seen it too, where it's like my grandma used to tell me that if you ever had a dream or that angels would sometimes carry you away while you were sleeping, but sometimes angels are clumsy. Hey, do you remember that dream that you had where you were falling?
Damn.
Never seen that.
We're on to something here.
How many deaths have I survived? Take me out already.
They're actually
Just let
gargoyles.
me go. Gargoyle. Oh my god. Disney XD style.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ, E-Man.
Fucking
What
The
love
best
that.
gargoyles. E-Man's worst dream was he was watching his family get hit by a car in front of his eyes. He woke up crying.
Oh,
Oh my
fuck.
god.
Gee,
E-Man.
that's what
That's
I
wild,
so bad.
dude.
Jesus
Oh my
Jeez,
God.
Which
E-Man.
let's going into the next point. Have you guys ever had a dream where it's like either third person or omnipotent view, where like you can just see yourself and everything else that's going on around you?
Yes.
No.
I've had few dreams like that.
Very few. Very few. I've had dreams sometimes too where it's like a bird's eye view, like over
Mhm.
like large areas, which is always like really weird. But it's not like being in a body flying. It's just like I don't know
you
how to
see it
explain it.
like a camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Venus is a camera. Venus actually translates from Latin to English as camera.
I feel like you just made that up
I did.
on the
What the
spot.
fuck?
I know you did. 100%. I know you did. I don't know much Latin, but I know that's wrong.
Oh man, yeah. Anyone
It's actually
take-
Greek.
Whatever.
Anyone taking advice on Latin or Greek from Billy? Just please stop.
No.
That means you
No,
too,
not your
E-Man.
Hey man, I taught E-Man 90% of what he knows, all right?
Oh, shit.
99%.
You're his daddy now.
Yes, E-Man, you are a peasant. Show up to my streams.
You and half of NA West.
Fuck.
Don't you dare, he says.
So we finally got a trailer for that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie.
That looks really good.
It does.
That is fucking wild.
It looks so much better with the trailer than it did with the pictures.
Yeah.
The pictures
Oh, yeah.
did not look that
The pictures look like they could have gone either way, but that it could have been like not, that it could have been cheesy almost. But the trailer gave it that really like creepy, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It gave it like a otherworldly sort of horror, and that sort of is gonna, I think, carry it more.
Right.
Mhm.
I'd like to see what caused that transformation because in the trailer, Christopher Robin's in it, and he's talking about he's sorry he left them. So I'm curious.
Is it that like the whole thing is Christopher Robin's going back to find them?
That's what I was picking up. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. He's like going back to find them, and then, oh shit! I'm sorry I left. Oh God, please.
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you guys think he makes it out alive or no?
I
Christopher
think
Robin?
he does, but I don't think any of his friends do.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of death and mayhem along the way.
I really hope he doesn't make it.
I think
Maybe
it's gonna
he doesn't
be...
die, but he gets trapped there. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was just
out.
gonna say. Like, he's not gonna, like, he's gonna survive the ordeal, but they're gonna trap him in there and like lock him
You're
up.
not leaving again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Right.
Which is also how they'll set up for more movies. I'm assuming.
Blood and Honey 2, Christopher Robin escapes.
Oh,
That's exactly what it's going to be.
You heard it here first, folks.
the channel Sci-Fi is just
Leak.
gonna take over that now. So you're just gonna get Sci-Fi budget movie. Fuck.
God, could you
It looks
imagine?
good though. I mean,
It does.
there might just be a little bit too much hype behind that movie.
Isn't there always though?
Yeah.
But I want them to do like an evil Garfield next. Like
Oh my
just
God.
follow the beams.
Okay, hear me out. Can we get the what's that
The Grimm's Brothers or some shit like that.
the guy something lasagna or something like that. I don't know. He makes the freaking creepypasta videos of all like everything.
Something
he's got a
lasagna.
Minecraft video. I don't remember the guy's name.
I know what
It's
you're
like-
talking about. He makes the creepy versions of all this.
Yeah, like he's got
fuck.
the Minecraft video where he gets sucked into the computer and then they crucify him.
Oh damn.
God,
They
what's
could
that
just
about?
do a whole universe of these.
He does, like he's got a Bob the Builder
No.
one where Bob like
I know he does. I
murders
just
a
mean
family.
like movie wise. They
Yeah.
can just use this to build a whole movie.
That's in
together.
one movie and it's the same one that makes Brad's favorite freaking quote, the "Oh, you got a man pussy, don't you? I could smell it.
Oh.
Stinks."
Still don't know what that's from, but I know what you mean.
I don't even like.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Yeah.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, fucking Garfield. That sounds like something Stephen King would make.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery
Meat
stuff.
Canyon.
Meat Canyon. That's what it
Oh,
is.
gotcha.
That's the
Right.
guy's name. Meat
Oh
Canyon.
my
He did the
God.
SpongeBob one too, right?
Those fucking
I
videos
think
that
so.
that dude makes. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yep.
it's wild.
Secret
Yeah.
formula for SpongeBob.
Yes. That's one of my
It's
favorites.
a year old.
I love that one. I love that one
Have
so
you
much.
seen
Oh.
that Andrew Tate one?
That one's like meaningful to me.
I haven't
love
seen
that
one for Andrew Tate, but wasn't there? Did we talk? God, what group was it? I can't remember if it was this group, if we talked about it on the podcast or what. But I think it might have been this podcast. The guy who was like really skinny and then he did nothing but mukbangs for a year.
Nikocado Avocado.
He's got
Yeah.
a thing for that too, called the King of
Oh
Mukbang.
my God. Yeah, I remember seeing that. That one was actually fucking disturbing. He just, and then fucking Nico himself actually like made a reaction to the video. That's, oh my God, they're giving him too much of a
The Ed and
platform.
Eddie one is my favorite.
What's up?
The Ed and Eddie one, easily my favorite.
That's another good one.
I actually,
That one's really
I
dark.
actually haven't seen most of their videos. I've only seen like maybe 3 or 4 of them. Might do a deep dive on their stuff.
I've seen a lot of things.
It's
Mostly
worth-
because people send them to me.
Sure you have, Billy.
They're good.
They are good. They are. Oh, is that? I think I have seen the Andrew Tate one. Nope, that was published 13 days ago. I have not seen it.
Is there a horror movie that you were actually excited for and then turned out to be super disappointing?
Oh God. Yeah, see, man, the Monsters Inc. one is disturbing. I can't remember. I could never. It was so disappointing. Like my dad and I went to see it, and it was so fucking disappointing that I'd never remember the name of the movie because we walked out and said that was a waste of money.
Damn.
But it was supposed to be like a spirit is haunting a family, and like the dad and his son kill it in the garage or some shit like that. I don't freaking remember. It was
garage.
stupid. Yeah, there's a big wooden barn kind of thing. It was stupid, horrible.
I don't.
Doesn't ring any bells.
No, it does not.
Oh god, was it like 2016? I think is when we saw it.
2016?
I think so. Maybe earlier.
Fuck. What would that be?
Ouija came out in 2016, and so did the Terrifier. But before that, it would be the what's the movie where it's the chick's got like a red hood, everyone else has yellow like hooded cloaks, and they're in a secret village.
The Village.
The
That's
Village.
M. Night Shyamalan.
What is it called?
Yeah.
The Village. Yeah,
I
that was
actually
before
really
that
like
was
that.
also that one. Yeah, okay.
It was definitely like I would definitely say that would be theater disappointing. I didn't watch it in theaters. Like it was like a DVD that I found and I watched. I didn't have like high.
Gotcha.
I think your internet cut out. I
Oof.
thought it was me for a second.
Yeah, we both just look over. Oh no. Oh boy. Well,
Blair Witch came out on Netflix in 2016.
she might come through. She might not.
She might. It might. Her computer might just say no, and
Right,
she
yeah.
might be done.
Right. Yeah, I can't. Oh, Overlord. Holy fuck. Did you ever see that movie? Came out in 2018.
That's the one where they're like Nazi zombies in the bunker.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but I remember. I think you talked about it because you went and saw it, didn't you, in theaters?
No, I actually I didn't see it in theaters, but I bought it because I was actually that excited for it, even though I never saw it in theaters. But like, fuck, man, what a disappointing movie.
That's such a disappointment.
And people actually, whatever, man. Everyone's got their they like the movie, they don't like the movie, whatever. But I personally fucking hated it. Because like the trailer, it made it look like fucking Nazi
The trailer
zombies.
looked good. Yeah.
It looked like something out of fucking Black Ops Zombies, you know? And no, it wasn't. It was a fucking drama of these soldiers hiding in this cabin from the Germans. And then that's pretty much it for the most part. They're like trying to figure out like how to get back to their base or whatever.
Oh, there she goes.
Right.
Her modem reset.
And we didn't actually get any zombies. There weren't zombies.
That
Spoilers.
sucks. I hate that.
Spoilers for anyone that actually might care about the movie. I don't fucking know. But anyways, yeah, so they end up finally like following these guys to their base, the Germans to their underground bunker or whatever, because they've been experimenting with some sort of serum. It doesn't actually turn them into zombies, but it keeps them from dying, and it's kind of like a super soldier serum. Where I think it only worked on one person, if I remember correctly, and then everyone else just had really bad side effects from it, where they just turn into like boiled type of people, like their skin is just like getting all fucked up and they're getting huge,
falling apart
from all the pus and all that shit. But I mean, that was pretty much it. Like, it wasn't horror, it wasn't zombies. It was just a fucking letdown. And
right, that sucks.
all right, so a lot of times people would be super happy about a movie that they're like, okay, this is gonna happen, and then it actually doesn't happen. They're like, oh, you know what, I'm pleasantly surprised about that. Fuck no, man. This movie, I actually
with this
wanted
one.
fucking zombies in it. You know, they made it look like they were going to be dealing with fucking zombies in the middle of World War II.
And in fact, they were not.
In fact, they were not. So fuck Overlord. That was the most disappointing movie I've ever watched in terms of horror.
I think the movie name was Sinister for mine.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Oh my god, dude. I love
Have you
that
seen
movie.
Sinister? Maybe it
Sinister
wasn't.
2 was it was all right. Not too bad, but not better than the first one. But
Is that the one where like the guy finds something in the attic
yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
that's
a video?
what's his fucking name that Brad just found out about is in a lot of movies. The guy from Training Day with Denzel. What's his fucking name?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I
Ethan
was
Hawke.
just too young to understand it, but
Ethan Hawke.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke, yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I just remember like
that
I
movie
was
came
so
out.
disappointed.
That movie came out in
2013.
2012.
Yeah,
Sinister.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were actually disappointed by that. Wow.
Yeah. In theaters. I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't mind watching it again. Maybe I missed something when I was younger.
Right.
But
Welcome back.
it, it did not tickle my fancy, we'll say.
Gotcha.
E-Man has been commenting his most disappointing is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Just regurgitating OG scenes and making it worse with CG. Even CGI, but
I believe it.
yeah, I mean
But
it's hard to do anything with CGI.
You can't really have high hopes for a remake of a classic
Yeah.
horror movie.
It's been done to death.
The only thing you probably could take out of it that was really good was the actor himself that played Krueger. He's the
Mhm.
one that played Rorschach in that superhero movie.
Which one?
Rorschach?
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
No, not that one.
right?
No, it's the
Oh.
other one. Why am I
That's not what the
blanking on
Invisible
these
Guy was called?
fucking movies right now, dude? Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yes.
Watchmen.
Oh,
Yeah. The guy that
Oh,
played
that's right,
Rorschach is the same guy that played Krueger in that remake. And that guy is a solid fucking actor. I love that guy.
E-Man agrees that the Freddy was creepier. E-Man also said for Overlord the best scene was the guys on the snowmobile with an MG42. So
I don't really remember that movie. That's how much I hated it. So I was while you were gone, I was telling him that my most disappointed movie that I was like super excited for was Overlord. Did you ever watch it, Venus?
Doesn't sound like she's heard of it.
Overlord.
Yeah.
Is it it's a superhero movie?
No,
No,
horror movie.
no, it's supposed to be a horror movie.
When you look at when you see the trailer, it kind of gives off the vibe that it's supposed to be like a Black Ops Nazi zombies type of movie. And in fact, it wasn't. Oh no!
You disappointed her so much she left.
I blame you, Overlord.
Blame you, Overlord. Oh,
Oh,
the
shit.
other movie that E-Man is disappointed with is the Thing remake. Which, what did we watch?
No,
the
we
Thing
watched
together?
the original. We watched the original.
Yeah, we watched the original.
Yeah, I want to see it just for the sake of seeing it.
Yeah.
Because Joel Edgerton is in it. I fucking love that dude. If anyone
And then-
knows who Joel Edgerton is, if anyone if anyone watched The Warrior with Tom Hardy, he's the other brother.
Oh.
Yeah, Joel
She's
Edgerton's a
back.
beast.
Sorry, it was.
No more bringing up Overlord. It disconnects her.
Yeah, we won't bring it up anymore.
I heard it was a horror movie, and everything after that was like so
Oh,
distorted.
shit.
I didn't know what you were saying. So I was like, all right, this is
Okay,
work.
but what are your thoughts on Billy finally figuring out that the disappointing movie for him was Sinister?
Yeah, it's Sinister.
That was disappointing for me too, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh my god, dude.
No, it was.
Wow.
I was sitting here trying to think of some, and that's one that I was thinking of that I couldn't remember the name of. Yeah, no, that one
Yeah,
was just.
2012, not
Yeah.
2016.
hmm
Okay, but like, explain. because I genuinely love that movie, and I never actually heard anyone say a bad thing about it. So I'm like actually curious.
Well, while she thinks about it, I did get a message from Landy, a direct message, who called me going. He said, Ethan Hawke, you going? We were trying to figure out who the actor was.
Yeah, yeah. We figured it out. Ethan Hawke. Because he's in a lot of the movies from that same director. Because that same director
Scott
made
Derrickson.
yeah, he ended up making The Black Phone, which starred Ethan Hawke. That recently came out.
I've
within the
never
last
seen
few
the
months.
Black Phone.
Wasn't that also like a giant fly? Oh no, that was the good one, wasn't it? About the kid that gets
Yeah, gets taken
taken.
and held into someone's basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he uses the black phone to escape. Like
Yeah, he
he
uses it to communicate with the dead kids that never made it out from that basement.
And then they help him. There's a
Yeah.
brick here.
I thought that was a
That
good
was
movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I know we talked about it on the podcast once.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did see that there were a lot of mixed reviews on it, which I
Ethan Hawke
can
movie,
see because
so-
it's not it's not it didn't feel like a horror movie, and I understand that part. But it was a good story for me at least. And that same guy, Scott Derrickson, right? That was his name.
Yeah,
he's
Scott
the same
Derrickson
guy
for
that
the
made
director.
the Doctor Strange movie, and he was trying to make Doctor Strange 2 into a legit horror movie. I remember this was like what 2019, maybe 2020. At
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's got some aspects to it. It's not too big because Kevin Feige was trying to keep it more still on the family side of a Marvel movie, which eventually is what caused Scott Derrickson to leave from that, and Sam Raimi took over. And then Scott
We
came
got a
out
better movie from it.
with The Black Phone. Yeah. But yeah, those two make some movies together.
So I will say the biggest I don't know, disappointment, I guess, was it just kind of seemed ripping off of other origin stories for other like horrors and monstrosity, because isn't it like the more you research about this Sinister, and the more videos you watch, like then he starts coming after you.
He gets getting closer to you.
Yeah,
The more of those videos you
like,
see.
It reminds me of
Yeah.
The Ring.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of like not only just The Ring, but also like Slender Man.
Yeah.
But that was one thing, and then it was like I don't know. I don't know if they just did a poor job with like jump scares or what, but like every time they tried to do a jump scare, like it wasn't really anything. And then when they did actually do something, like it wasn't a jump scare.
I don't think they were actually focusing on jump scares. They were trying to like, I think they were trying to like keep you at the edge of your seat because of these kills from these videotapes that he's finding. So like, it kind of gave off some like Omen vibes, I guess, because like most of the kills, if not all the kills, were like the kids watching the family get killed. So I don't know. I was just I don't.
Well, that's what I think it was. They were relying on the shock value of
Yeah.
those footages and the tapes rather than like the jump scares. But like, I also didn't find that like. I mean, it was scary. It just didn't. I prefer jump scares.
Right.
Like when especially if you're hyping it up to like this like very like ominous, evil, entity. Like I expect to be scared out of my seat a little bit at points, and it didn't really ever do that.
Got a 6.8 stars on IMDb. I would not mind watching, like, if we added it to our movie night list for Sinister and Sinister 2. Just to watch
I
them.
want to say I liked the second one more.
I've never seen the second one.
I think the second one I enjoyed more. Yeah.
The second one, maybe.
Have you seen the second one, Z?
Yeah, I did. I was just telling Billy like it was decent. I didn't think it was better than the first one.
That's because you weren't disappointed with the first one.
True. I mean, that kind of another Ethan Hawke movie. The Purge, the first Purge, the first movie.
Ethan
That one
Hawke's
was
in the first Purge.
fucking dog shit. Yeah, he's the main character.
He's the
I've
dad.
never
Yeah.
seen the Purge,
So
so I
So
never
was
know.
what's her name? Lena Headey.
What? You've
I
never
never cared
seen
for
the
Purge
Purge?
movies.
You're
No.
not missing anything
Wow.
really.
I know
Yeah.
Lena Headey's in it too, and she's so great.
Yeah,
Man,
she's great in anything she
mean-
so
does.
great. She's
Oh,
just
yeah,
great.
yeah, she's great. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, E-Man said it reminded him of Trevor Henderson's creature, the Skeleton King. If you see a photo, it would appear on the device you saw it, and it would show up more and more until it kills you. And that the
Is that like
Forever
The
Purge
movie
is
The
good.
Skeleton Key.
I don't think is that a
Skeleton
movie
King.
or
I
is
know
that
they
a
made
movie
a
or is
movie.
it creepypasta? Oh, it's
It came out in 2005 with Kate Hudson.
And then Landy says Purgathon. But E-Man also asked, has anyone seen the new Texas Chainsaw movie?
Yes.
Man.
And
Yeah.
if you have,
Me and
what are your
Brad.
thoughts?
Me and Brad saw it a month or two ago when I went over to his place. It
Mhm.
was fucking awful.
Yeah, you guys hated it. You talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's not meant to be like a
Yes.
true attempt at a remake in a true horror way. It's meant to be camp.
Yeah,
to be
you
fun.
can definitely tell that because they're bringing in politics as well at the same time while like shitting on them equally.
And the social media aspects
That
and like,
too.
you know, all
Mhm.
of that. And it's supposed to just it's poking fun. And it's using that like, you know, that story as like but you know,
Yeah.
it was okay.
Only good scene is the bus scene, says E-Man.
The bus scene
Which is
pretty
literally
funny.
in the trailer, honestly.
It is one of those movies where you feel like you watch the trailer, you watch the
oversold
movie,
it.
Yeah.
and well, but I feel like after watching the movie, I was like, I feel like I watched the whole movie in the trailer. Like
But
I
Wow.
could have
Yeah.
just watched the trailer and
I
gotten
did
the,
have a takeaway from it though, and it was the fact that one of the main characters was her story background in the movie was she was a survivor of a school shooting. And I ended up bringing that up, and I was just like, do you think it's still too early for that
Mhm.
to be brought in as a type of story for movies? Not realizing that fucking your boy Ezra Miller was actually a school shooter in one of his movies. Back in when was it? Like
doesn't surprise me.
early
I
2000s.
was just trying to say,
and
not surprising.
his character was using a bow and arrow.
I remember we talked
I
about
think I
that.
mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, that question's just out there. Like, don't even fucking worry about it anymore because apparently they've already done it way before that was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was bad, but it was like Vina said, wasn't meant to be better than the originals. So that's my takeaway from it.
The back to the Skeleton King thing real quick.
King or
apparently
key?
that is a King, K-I-N-J or K-I-N-G. It's apparently a creepypasta.
Oh,
Not a
really?
I knew it was a creepypasta. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that it was.
So,
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there like that though.
What's
that
that
are
about? Because that
creepypastas.
kind of sounds exactly like the movie.
That's the whole, like, if you see a photo of this creature, it appears on a device, and then you would see it, and you would keep seeing it show up more and more and more until eventually it kills you.
Okay. Gotcha. So Skeleton Key.
That's about a haunted mansion in like Louisiana and Kate
Yeah,
Hudson
New
was
Orleans.
caregiver.
She quits
and
her
she-
job at a hospice to work for someone else, an elderly woman whose husband is in poor health following a stroke. When Caroline begins to explore the couple's rundown Bayou mansion, she discovers strange artifacts and learns the house has a mysterious past. As she continues to investigate, she realizes that Violet, the person she's taking care of, is keeping a sinister secret about her husband's illness. Okay, well, I haven't actually seen the movie. I just know about it.
That's
Venus
okay.
has seen it 6 times, in fact.
I have not seen it 6 times, probably 3 times, but
Oh,
That was
shit.
close.
over the years, not like back to back.
In 1 week.
In
No.
one day.
I mean,
Okay, hear me out though. I went to a restaurant a while back, and my friend ended up bringing the question to the waitress if she likes watching movies or whatever. He was just trying to like hit on her, but she ended up bringing up that Joker with Joaquin Phoenix was her favorite movie ever. She went to fucking theaters to watch it 16 times.
Jesus Christ.
That is the most I've ever heard anyone want to watch a movie in theaters. Like,
I've never done repeat watches in theaters. I've repeat watched movies that I like, never back to back, but like over time I'll watch a movie I like a lot. But like I've never gone back to a movie theater multiple times to watch a movie. I can't. I don't know why people do that. I know that people do that, but I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she doesn't go to movie theaters. She just has a daily watch of Skeleton Key.
Shut the fuck
it's
up.
part of her ritual. She actually has
Landy's
it in the
joke.
back. You know how like
Fuck you, Landy.
you know how like in movies you see this this typical trope of like the person's done with their desk job, they come home, they turn the news on while doing whatever in the kitchen or their room, so they got the news in the background. That's actually Venus with the Skeleton King.
Fuck all that build up for that. Fuck you.
Evan says the only movie he's watched 4 times, the OG Jurassic Park, and he thinks he thinks he's seen Skeleton.
I grew up on rewatching because
You only
That's all
had
there was
so
to do.
many
I only had
VHS
movies.
Yeah.
He
And
did. Yeah,
no
he didn't
cable.
grow up with cable.
Yeah, I didn't have cable, so I just dealt with whatever movies we had. And I remember specifically, I think I brought this up at one point. One of my brother's friends had the bootleg trilogy for Lord of the Rings, and I kept it, and I just watched that. I can't tell you how many times I watched those movies, dude. Like, it got to the point where I was only watching the action scenes, because I was like, all right, I know what happens and all this other stuff. I've watched it way too many fucking times. I want to see the fucking action, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I grew up on rewatching everything, so I think every movie I've seen, I've at least rewatched it once. So, but yeah, we've
Watching stuff.
continuing on with the horror stuff. We ended up seeing the trailer for Smile. This trailer came out like a couple months ago, and we brought it up, but we never actually watched the trailer up until now. And a lot of people are excited for it. I'm just like, okay, good for you. I'm not. Not trying to knock on you guys, but I really don't see anything interesting about this movie.
I was pretty underwhelmed by the trailer. I wasn't like, I mean, it didn't look bad per se. It just didn't like hook me. There was nothing in it that made me go like, ooh, tell me more, like what is going on here. Like it was just a lot of, generic horror, like scene after scene after scene. Like, ooh, I was like, all right, well, when it's free, I'll watch it somewhere.
It gives me a more realistic version of that Truth or Dare movie. Because if you go back to that movie and watch the trailer, everyone was smiling like that before they died. And it was a CGI smile too, so it was just like a wide fucking ugly ass grin. So it just looks more like a realistic version of Truth or Dare. But that's pretty much what I'm getting.
I don't know if I've ever seen this Truth or Dare movie.
I haven't either. I just remember the trailer, and it looked god awful.
This chick's face reminds me of that weird meme, that like scary girl with the like the smile.
Oh yeah, the fucking
yeah.
She's supposed to be a robot, isn't she?
I
what's
have
her
no
fucking
idea.
name? Let's see if I can find it. Was it a creepypasta?
It might have started off as a picture in a creepypasta, yeah.
Jeff the Killer says, E-Man, maybe. Jeff the Killer is a creepypasta.
Jeff
Isn't it?
Mm.
the Killer.
The creepypasta that I remember the most is that Russian sleeping experiment one, I think.
Yeah. It's similar to that one, but it wasn't that. It was an actual. It was not an actual girl. It was supposed to be like an animatronic type of face that was like Jeff the Killer's face.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you're talking about though, but
Landy says Truth or Dare is and another and then there were none story.
Oh, I love an Everybody Dies horror movie.
really,
It's only That's
It
how it should be.
defies all the
it should be?
tropes.
Okay.
That's how it should be.
I always hated that it had to be the female that survived. I'm like, why can't it be some fucking jock that really doesn't deserve to live and he actually lives?
The
We're
himbo.
gonna write a horror movie. We'll
The
get that going.
wholesome himbo pro tag. Yeah.
Fucking
Mhm.
Chris Hemsworth character from Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
It's the only character I wanted to live.
Red's favorite movie.
Yeah, Brad's favorite movie, actually.
It is, yeah.
We call it a Brad ending when everyone dies. It's just because growing up with Brad, anytime I watched the movie with him, he was always saying, and everyone dies. I'm like, okay. And then we finally watched Cabin in the Woods when it came out, and I
And
went
everyone
fucking
died.
ape shit. Because I'm like, oh my god, you finally got a fucking movie with your own ending.
Finally got his wish.
Yeah, right? Well,
Momo is the girl you're thinking of. so-
yeah.
Momo. That's what it was.
Momo.
Thank you.
Yes.
Starting with that.
That's the fucking one.
Didn't someone like make a first off, like wasn't that just a sculpture that a Japanese person had made?
Yes,
And
that's
then it just got like turned into this
the picture went
creepypasta.
viral, and then
Yeah.
someone wrote a story to go with the picture. Yeah.
Momo's
And
coming to
that
kill
was
you.
the first time in a long time, because there was this, I don't know if it ever hit you guys, but there was this fucking phase with the Hispanic community, from what I remember. You know those fucking forwarding texts, like reply or
I was
like
just gonna
forward
say,
this like
featured
20
in so
times.
many chain
Emails and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yes, she
Yes.
was a part of that.
Mhm.
And this was recent. This was like within the last 5 years, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, it caught wind in the Hispanic community. I think it even hit the news at one point. But I thought that was fucking hilarious. It's just one of those things that I just throw on there. It's like, oh, of course, funny fucking shit that a friend of mine, Charlie, we bring him up a lot, but I had this conversation with Charlie a long time ago. We were like, why the fuck does Mexico not have their own NASA? And I instantly respond with, do you not see that they're still worried about the chupacabra? That's your answer right there.
Too superstitious for space.
Exactly.
There's stuff up there that they're like, we're not
going to comprehend that right now. We need to figure out this fucking thing that's eating our goats.
The immediate
Our
danger.
goats are more important, damn it.
Exactly.
What do we need in space? There's no goats in space. What do we need in space?
Right. Matter of fact, you know who's leading that charge, Billy? Our old friend Alex.
God.
There's this guy we used to hang out with a lot, and Billy saw a picture of him for the first time, and dude had a goatee, like a soul patch, just on his chin, and just from that he was just like, "Oh, you look like a goat. You look like a goat fucker," and that name just stuck with him for so long. He just had to embrace it and accept it. And he was like, it got to the point where like
Billy the bully. Oh my god. You terrorist.
it got to the point where like the guy himself was actually trying to make fun of it, but he just wasn't going. No one was laughing about it. We were all just like, "What's up, goat fucker?"
Oh no. Oh no.
And that, my friend, is Billy's first arch nemesis created by Billy himself.
That's when he started his
Blood
villain
feud
arc.
began.
Oh my god.
A little different from how I bully Penguin
You were
the
cursed by the goat fucker.
the type of shit talking we did back in PlayStation 4 days, man. We'd
The
get
kind of shit
canceled
you
like
get in trouble for these days.
20 times over. We'd get canceled.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's it. You're
Can't
canceled.
forget-
I'm canceling you. You're canceled.
Can't forget autism and friends.
Oh my god. That was That was wild. Let's not dive into that stuff, though. For the sake of this video actually being able to go out, let's not continue
it's
down
out.
that
It's on Twitch. It's already out.
road. Let's not go into that.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck, man.
Good fucking times.
So you mentioned earlier that you watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy like a bunch, like that was your rewatch growing up. What did you think of the Rings of Power show that just dropped?
I actually enjoy it.
I did too.
I know. So this is the one time I realized that there is a more toxic fandom than the Star Wars fandom. And
Yes.
it is now the Lord of the Rings fandom.
I was slightly holding out hope that the Lord of the Rings fandom would conduct themselves a little. No.
Dude, they've been shitting so much on this show since the very first leak of pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
And they review bombed it so much that I think
they did.
IMDb had to stop reviews from coming through. IMDb, if I remember correctly, I think they are owned by Amazon. So, yeah, that's... I really hate how the fandom is right now, but I do enjoy the show.
And I don't understand why, because like there really is no canonical break here. Like,
no, it's really just
true to lore.
It's in the Second Age. There's a lot of nitpicking in it from what I've read through these people in the forums. Like, for example, there's the king of the dwarves right now, Durin, his wife is
Durin the Fourth. Or Durin the Third. Durin the Fourth's the prince.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
His wife is black and she doesn't have a beard.
Mm-hmm.
I do think she should have a beard. I'm a little sad they didn't give the women beard.
I thought that that would have been actually hilarious if they went through with that.
I mean,
but I understand why they didn't.
Opportunity.
I mean,
I understand why they didn't. But
it shouldn't make or break the show. There's just a lot of nitpicking that's like that I've noticed from all of these negative reviews. That they just really want it to be like fucking right on the nose, exactly like everything they read.
Well, it just seems like a weird thing to zero in on when, like, you know, I'm much more concerned with, like, did they do this set building to the level of detail and authenticity that they did in the original trilogy? Or, you know, are they going to carry the special effects makeup the way they did, you know, back then? Like, those seem to me like things that are of greater concern than, like, did they cast a black woman to play Durin's wife? Like,
right.
What hill do we really need to be dying on?
Right.
It's 2 women and 3 minorities, says Landy.
All right. And those same people that are just shitting on the show are the same people that like House of the Dragon, even though there's only a small part in the books about House of the Dragon. That this show is probably going to go on for like at least 2 seasons.
More than that, I'm sure they're gonna put a whole like at least 6 to 8 season.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
they're gonna milk as much of Game of Thrones as they possibly can.
Of course they are.
You have to.
Right.
You gotta make up for that ending you gave.
I mean that should. I mean, so far those 2 episodes have been good. I'm not gonna lie. Those 2 episodes of House of the Dragon have been good.
And I'll watch it, but I don't trust them not to do what they did last time. They're gonna
muck it up eventually.
They're gonna fuck it up.
Eventually, yeah. It really just depends on how long they drag it out. As realistically, they probably could just do it with 1 season.
Yeah, but they won't.
But
quick backtrack to the Lord of the Rings. Sleepiest said not having the beard for the wife crossed the line, and that if his woman doesn't have a beard, she's not his woman.
Fuck, man. Good luck.
You know what? Sleepy, I see you.
Good luck out there, man. I believe in you. No, but this is one thing that a lot of people don't want to look at is you can be a fan of something that isn't true to the story. Like the book. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, creative direction can be great. Like, it doesn't have to always be like a mimic, you know.
people are
But
saying that the
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings movies were perfect. I'm like, Frodo is not like how he is in the books. They don't
Nope.
there's a
exactly show you how orcs are made the exact way in the books. In the movies, they're pretty much just made from fucking melted wood into mud
The
and turned
Uruk-hai?
into, yeah. When in reality, these dudes are tortured.
Mm-hmm.
The Uruk-hai are supposed to be the mixture between humans and elves, uh, tortured as well, and then the orcs themselves are just elves. Just there's a lot of torture in it to turn them into what they are, and they didn't follow through with that, obviously. But I mean, it's just stuff like
I
that.
think,
Like,
and those are creative decisions. Because imagine if they had. I can't imagine that those movies could have been as mainstream as they were. Especially this was the early 2000s. Like it couldn't have been what it was if they had done that. So they had to like take creative direction with it. But that
right,
doesn't, like you're saying, that doesn't have to be a bad thing.
right,
Mm.
and it really doesn't.
Although I'd love a version that did have that. Like Lord of the Rings unrated.
Oh
Give
my
me like the
god,
true
that'd be
process.
metal as fuck to actually
That'd
show
be
the
so
process.
crazy. I wonder if they'll do any of that in this Rings of Power show. I
Okay,
mean,
going into that, the first time we actually see an orc, when he
Mhm.
pops up from the cabin, from the hole
Mhm.
that he dug, and it's just one orc,
Mhm.
and it takes the mom and her son to bring that thing down. I don't know about you guys, but if they make him as menacing as that, like, I'm here for it. Because in,
yeah,
in in the movies, it's just a big grand spectacle of orcs getting shit on. But if we can see like an individual orc actually hold its own against one person, instead of like 5 orcs versus one and they still can't take him down, like,
Mhm.
I'm here for that.
it's much scarier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. There's a terrifying aspect to that because you don't know what the fuck they are, and then they're just this big old creepy creature just trying to like fucking take you into their hole and drag you
Mhm.
back home. Is that not terrifying? That literally sounds like a boogeyman type of story.
Literally a boogeyman, right?
So,
A very
It looked
violent
like it
one.
too. Did you see that freaking like animal mask he was
That
wearing?
oh
bone mask.
yeah, yeah,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, not only so like they had showed some orcs before that point in the show, but they were like in battle sequences, and
yeah,
this was the
Mhm.
first like close up shot that you get. And that close up was so like satiating because he was so detailed, and that bone mask skull was so creepy, and you couldn't even tell really for a second if it was a mask until like they showed him more and like
Yep.
ticked off. But it was so good, it made you wonder. Like his whole appearance was absolutely terrifying
yes.
Yep.
and
They,
very realistic. A lot of textures. Like there was no
uh-huh.
CGI on him. Like it was all legit, which is
Right,
what I wanted.
right. Yeah, I'm so far I'm enjoying what I've seen for the show, and they've already confirmed that they're trying to do 50 hours worth of this show, and
Mm.
they do 10 episodes a season. I think this season alone is supposed to be like 8 episodes though, but if they do 10 episodes a season, that's what, 5 seasons at most. They're I mean, they already have the second season. They already confirmed that it's a go. Like they're working on it right now. So they have that much faith in what they're making. It's just upsetting to see how the community has responded to it. But there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us still that can equally enjoy this and House of Dragon because we're just fans of entertainment. Fantasy entertainment, really.
Are you not entertained?
Right.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Landy said, I mean, I'd let certain creatures take me in their hole. And then E-Man called him out for not being PG. But then Landy went into 5-season commitment was announced for the Lord of the Rings.
5-season
Yeah.
commitment. Yeah, they're invested.
So
Right. So,
most successful Prime launch ever.
yeah.
So successful that they didn't release both the episodes properly at once. There was a whole
The
7
second
minutes of
one
panic.
come out.
That was so funny too, because I don't remember who it was in our group, but they were like, I've got it on Reddit. Everyone else has the same problem, and I'm just imagining like Reddit threads like exploding as all the Lord of the Rings nerds are like losing their fucking minds. And it's not available right fucking now.
All right.
That was great.
Are we supposed to watch the second one first?
The panic ensues.
Then you had somebody trolling that, Premiere was supposed to be like a trailer, not an actual episode.
Yeah,
Don't know who that was.
Somebody being a fucking bully. Who would ever be like that? Certainly not Billy.
Certainly
Never,
not
ever.
Billy.
Not Billy the
Never
bully.
Billy.
No.
Billy
That's
the
not like
bully
you
goat
at all.
gruff.
Oh my god. How many people are left in this community right now that understand who Billy was before streaming?
Nobody.
Not me.
Nobody.
No.
Brad didn't even really know him until he
Yeah.
started streaming.
Yeah. Like, Z, you're like the only one that we still hang out with.
What do you mean we? That I still hang out with.
We, the
Yeah, get it
community.
We, the community. Yeah, okay.
I carry
The
behind me the
community.
force of 6 communities, all right?
Uh-huh.
6. You heard it here first. 6 communities.
Only 6.
Only 6.
Nothing
I
more,
can't have
nothing
too many
less.
communities. Are you crazy?
Oh,
Now that'd
shit.
make you some sort of like a cult leader. That'd be weird.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I had to make the joke earlier today. I had been out like all day today. I was helping my uncle. He had to take his Harley in, so like I had to drive to meet him there, take him back to his house so he could go to work, and then drive to his house to take him so he could pick up his Harley. And it took like all day pretty much because it's like an hour drive there and whatnot. And yeah, see, man, the number 6 was how many times Venus has seen Skeleton Key. So when I got back, like I came in and I was tired, but I came in, turned on my computer, and I looked in my channel and in one of the Discords, and there's like 9 people in the channel in the Discord, just like waiting for me. So I messaged Venus, who had messaged me on Discord, was like, "Oh, look, like who was it? Penguin and Snowy are just sitting in your channel waiting for you for their fearless leader." And I was like, "Oh my god, why buy Cult of the Lamb when I can just live it?"
I mean, if it's not you, Billy, it's Venus. Like there's
You're
just
right.
there's just
You're
a
right.
long line of people waiting for the both of you.
As soon as
It's-
either of us jump into a channel, a train follows.
For anyone that wants to know what their followers look like, it's those aliens that are like super invested in the Claw from Toy Story.
Aw,
You
little
guys are
green one?
literally the Claw.
Ah.
the claw.
As soon as you guys come in, the Claw. But well, it has been a fun one. Thank you again for joining us, Venus. Thank you,
A
everyone,
pleasure as always.
for coming through and watching, especially on the live stream. Everyone, take care. Deuces.
Bye.
Have a good one.